Serving Guam and Micronesia for 20 years. The all-new 2018 Kona by Hyundai, available at Cars Plus. IP&E, fueling excellence. McDonald's of Guam, I'm loving it. And King's Restaurant, located in Tamuning and Dedido. Always open, always local.
Straight ahead on primetime, one family in Agate is seeking answers after their oldest brother was killed in a hit-and-run in a southern village. Also tonight, the defense has rested its case in a major drug trial down at the federal courthouse. And the Special Economic Service Work Group met for the first time Tuesday since senators passed the tax bailout bill. And with that, we say hafa and good evening, everyone. If you're watching us online or on demand, we appreciate you tuning in because one family tonight is mourning after their big brother passed away. Police believe 57-year-old Jesse Roque Castro was hit by a car down in Agate over the weekend, with the driver apparently leaving him behind to die.
The Agate family wants answers now, and investigators are hoping the community can help to find the person responsible for his death. KUAM's Nick Delgado has a story.
A younger brother is grieving.
That's my brother, Jesse. He's one of the oldest of all of us.
Jesse Roque Castro was the oldest of 11 siblings. His death unsettling for those who knew him best, like his brother Joe.
To me, it's not him to go this route and for this thing to happen to him.
Investigators say Jesse was walking along this main road in Agate early Sunday, the victim of an apparent hit and run. He died not long after being rushed to the hospital, the family unaware their loved one was involved.
I just had to hold myself together until I'm certain that that's really my brother.
And by Monday afternoon, one of the family members had to identify the body. It was Jesse. He died from a skull fracture and crushed chest. The news shocking as Joe tried to stay strong for his family.
I need to maintain myself because I can't break down that hard after what I just heard. Yes, it's a tragic moments of us and the family to even find out about this, and it's hard, so I'm just trying to get my family to pull together so we can get through this.
They are left seeking answers.
Now, police have yet to pinpoint any suspects. However, authorities are making their rounds, narrowing down their search and catching at least one potential break in the investigation.
Chief of Police Jay Cruz says it's the first lead they have so far.
We do have a potential witness who saw a vehicle leaving. Again, that we are not sure if that is the vehicle that was responsible for the fatal crash. So that still remains under investigation with our Highway Patrol Division.
Though investigators have no lead on any suspects, Joe has this message for the driver that was behind the wheel of the car the day his brother was hit and killed.
It's best that he come forward, save himself. He's going to feel it more in the longer run, and maybe sooner or later, one day, it's going to catch up to him, and like everyone else do. You can't run, you can't hide. You're going to have to come up for it. Everyone else deserves to know what went wrong or what happened. It's not really fair that if I lay my brother down to rest and we still don't get answers.
Answers so that they can give their final goodbyes to a man who Joe says was always helping others.
Thank you for being my big brother. Yeah, it's hard.
Anyone with information is asked to call. Police authorities also remind drivers and pedestrians to be cautious on or near the road to prevent another tragedy like this from happening again. Meantime, rosaries are being said nightly at the family's ranch in Agate. Morning Mass is also being held in Jesse's memory at Mount Carmel Catholic Church.
In other news, a 49-year-old woman who was pulled from the waters off the Tangisan Beach and Lost Pond area over the weekend has died. Chief Medical Examiner Dr. Aurelio Espinola confirms that she drowned. As we initially reported, first responders did rush to the beach area Sunday afternoon after witnesses lost sight of the woman. They say she was swept out over the reef, with the Guam Fire Department, the Coast Guard, and the Navy searching both land and sea for more than an hour before locating her and pulling her out. CPR was administered as she was taken by helicopter to Naval Hospital, but she did not survive, unfortunately. Espinola has identified her as Melissa Murphy.
Military investigators have yet to get the full results of the autopsy for Airman First Class Bradley Hale. The Chief Medical Examiner, Dr. Aurelio Espinola, confirms Hale had a cut on his neck. He says Hale lost more than 3 liters of blood. The Texas native was found lifeless inside the base quarters up at Anderson last Tuesday. The Air Force Office of Special Investigations has since confirmed they have one suspect in custody, but no word if any charges have been filed at this time. Investigators tell KUAM it could take a while before any new details are released. Hale was deployed to Guam from Barksdale Air Force Base in Louisiana. He was only 20 years old.
A former inspector with the FAA has signed a plea agreement admitting to multiple counts of wire fraud in a scheme involving the Hansen Helicopter Company. According to unsealed documents filed in federal court, Timothy Sislo confessed to receiving a more than $22,000 payment from a Hansen staffer identified only by the initials RC. According to that plea agreement, the money was for the purchase of a Taylorcraft aircraft. In exchange, Sislo said he agreed to use his official position to sign and issue special airworthiness certificates for several Hansen helicopters without actually conducting inspections. KUAM news files do indicate that the FBI conducted raids at Hansen's offices in Guam and in the United States in October 2016, at the time seizing helicopters and documents. Hansen operates helicopter charters, which include spotting services for tuna boats.
The prosecution rests their case in the trial against Raymond Martinez and Juanita Moser. Former Guam Customs Officer Henry Alvandia grilled once again on the stand by defense attorney David Lujan, this putting an end to their cross-examination of the government's star witness.
Aubrey, the couple is accused of trying to smuggle a large amount of methamphetamine from California to our island, but Alvandia could be called back up yet again. Keani Mendiola reports from federal court.
In a major drug case against Raymond Martinez and Juanita Moser, the government's final witness, Henry Alvandia, took the stand once again down at the district court today, ending the defense's cross-examination with the prosecution's case-in-chief. When asked by attorney David Lujan when Alvandia identified himself as a corrupt Guam customs officer, Alvandia stated, quote, "When I got caught," end quote. The defense team has sought out to impeach Alvandia as a witness by focusing on his criminal past and striking his credibility. Additionally, claiming incentives were given to him by the government in order to gain his cooperation against Martinez and Moser. Incentives like the sealing of his criminal indictment in April 2015, allowing him to resign from Guam Customs and keep his benefits, and detaining a federal public defender even though he had money and assets at the time. After reviewing the indictment and financial affidavit form with Alvandia one last time, Lujan wrapped up with his line of questioning. The prosecution rested its case. Now the defense will have the chance to present their own with several more witnesses plus Alvandia. Trial will resume on May 11th. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Keani Mendiola.
A man caught downloading child pornography enters a plea deal with the feds. Joseph B. Pangilinan Jr. faces anywhere from 5 to 20 years in jail. Back in January 2015, Homeland Security flagged Pangilinan's IP address, which was downloading a video entitled "Underage Girls Enjoying Themselves." A seizure of his computer and other devices uncovered 2,200 images and 17 videos of child porn. He later admitted to authorities he used BitTorrent software to knowingly receive these images.
In other island news tonight, the governor's fiscal team is speaking confidently about lifting the government out of its current fiscal crisis.
The Special Economic Service Work Group met for the first time Tuesday since senators passed the tax bailout bill. Nestor Lecanto has the details.
The legislature's Office of Finance and Budget confirms the administration is in compliance with the required $30 million reduction in spending that allows for the business privilege tax to increase from 4% to 5%. Budget Director Lester Carlson says they tweaked the previously submitted fiscal realignment plan, shaving it down by not filling vacancies and cutting contractual obligations.
As long as the 1% comes in, and as long as the 1% is not reduced or, God forbid, eliminated, we should be okay.
But Speaker B.J. Cruz questioned ADLOOP's moves to reopen a pair of fire stations and a police precinct, which were closed during a prolonged tax increase debate between the governor and senators.
People asking, well, if you can save $400,000 in 23 days, how much can you save in a full year? And was it really necessary?
But the speaker has rolled out his own pair of tax increase bills. He wants to raise real property and so-called sin taxes in a bid to reduce or eliminate a 2% general sales tax scheduled for October. Senators add that stronger collection and enforcement could also help offset the need for tax hikes. Reverend Tax Deputy Director Marie Benito.
And again, we are, with 10 new revenue officers, new compliance inspectors, we are going to be out there and enforcing and doing everything we can to collect.
Discussion also turned to the government's antiquated computer systems that date back to the 1980s. Public Auditor Doris Brooks.
We need to make significant investments in DRT as well as Department of Administration. So the two of them will talk together, because right now they don't talk to each other.
Team Guam, we need to work together, and we need to get to the 21st century.
One suggestion, make electronic filing mandatory. Online payments cost the government $4 million in credit card fees, but for an estimated $600 million in collections, the group agreed it may be worth it. For Guam's News Network, I'm Nestor Lecanto.
All right, Nestor, well done on that story. Now we want to get you up to speed on what's happening with the bottom dollar as taxes are slowly making their way to price tags of daily necessities and having an impact on your wallets. Owners and customers alike say the change in prices is adding up.
In effect, that will continue when the sales tax goes into effect on October 1st. Carmen Terlahi has more.
Guam is getting expensive. Prices at the pump are going up. Now the price for regular is at $4.22 a gallon, causing island residents concern like Jerry Tatau.
It's another addition to our cost of living, so unfortunately gas is the one thing we're always going to need, to get anywhere.
Week by week, these prices fluctuate, perhaps due to the global oil market and tax at home. This price surge also affecting local businesses who have the recent pass of the business privilege tax and sales tax on their mind. Though Fiona Naroon, the store manager of Day by Day in Jotnya, reassures customers the price for groceries at their store won't change overnight.
With the price increasement, we're not really jumping too fast. They were saying it's April 1st that, the increasement of the tax, but no. Yeah, we're going to go with everybody's price here on Guam and, the price cost of every item. And we can also follow by, because I'm pretty sure, right across we have a lot of competition.
Competition that makes an already high price tag harder to mark up. However, once vendors increase their prices, other local stores will be forced to follow the trend.
Most of the other items, yes, they have gone up, like the drinks that you buy, that you get in the stores. Yes, of course we're going to have to increase, because the vendors that we purchase from, they also increase.
At the end of the day, tax trickle down to consumers, shoppers being more aware about which brands they choose.
A lot of our customers that come in, they're really frustrated, even with the case of spare ribs, like quarter, chicken thigh, or diamond G, because those are the main items that they normally buy. But what can we do, right? The prices have gone up. Everybody on the local businesses, they have to also increase.
Stores like this are now trying to offset the costs with monthly sales, hoping customers can get the products they need at the right price. Other businesses are working on their own ideas to meet the tax demand. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Carmen Victoria Terlahi.
We are just getting started, everybody. Primetime continues on air and online. Stay with us.
Experience KUAM News than any other source on Guam. Download the KUAM News app for your Apple or Android device for 24/7 news, sports, videos, weather, streaming, KUAM radio, and important news alerts. And stay connected at home with Guam's first app for Apple TV. All available now from the App Store.
Half the day, I'm in the club.
Half a day, welcome to Two Lovers Point.
Half a day, I'm in the club.
We only have 30 seconds to describe the newest specialty flavor in the Signature Crafted Recipes collection by McDonald's, Garlic White Cheddar. It's layered with a slice of smooth, perfectly melty white cheddar cheese, a crunchy medley of tasty, crispy garlic chips, a dramatic drizzle of smooth, delicious, and flavorful, delectably creamy garlic aioli, all come together with a mouth-wateringly juicy tomato slice and crisp iceberg lettuce atop crispy buttermilk chicken on a soft, warm artisan roll. Luckily, you can take all the time you need to savor every bite. The Signature Crafted Recipes collection by McDonald's.
More ways to experience Guam via KUAM News, giving you what you want, when you want, and how you want it. From smart devices, Alexa, what's in the news?
Here's your flash briefing.
Over the web, on mobile, on streaming platforms, with immersive, interactive formats, and via social media where it's more than just content, it's conversation. More ways to keep you informed and entertained whenever you want it, wherever you are, on whatever device you're using.
Welcome back to Primetime, everybody. Hundreds of students over at the University of Guam remain upset that their names and social security numbers were accidentally sent to other students via an email message from the Financial Aid Office. UOG is meeting face-to-face for the first time with students on that infamous list. And although the meeting was closed to the public for liability reasons, UOG spokesman Jonas Makapinlak says the university is doing everything they can to make sure an email like this is not sent again.
This is the first time this has ever happened. Our protocols are working up to this point, and it caused a lot of introspection for us. So we, at this point, have already begun making the changes to ensure something like this does not happen again.
UOG is now offering up to 24 months of free credit monitoring services for those whose names and SSNs were on the list. The services include up to $1 million in insurance in the event one of these students' identities are stolen.
An update to United Airlines' ban on pets traveling. United has granted a limited exemption for those traveling out of Guam. The airline giant announcing on its website that starting today, they will allow an exception to their suspension of the new pet-safe reservations. But this only applies to military members and their spouses, as well as Department of Foreign Service personnel and their spouses. They will be allowed to travel with or ship their pets from Guam between April 3rd and the 30th. You may remember the airline put the temporary suspension in place after several incidents on United's part, including the death of a small dog and 2 mix-ups that sent dogs to the wrong destination. United hopes to complete its review of its Pet Safe program by May 1st.
All right, everybody, the word of the day is beware of the jellies. And we're not talking about those shoes. It's Portuguese man-of-wars, which is washed up on shore yet again. These dangerous creatures have been spotted in areas like East Agana and Tumon Bay, so beachgoers, heads up, stay sharp. Much of this, officials say, has been caused by the high surf we've been experiencing over the past couple of days, with our friends at the NWS saying that's expected to continue through Wednesday evening. The Department of Agriculture's Division of Aquatic and Wildlife Resources is reminding the public, please be careful along the east and west coast of Guam. If you do happen to spot a Portuguese man-of-war, do not touch it. And you are asked to call the Department of Agriculture at 735-0289. We also invite you to check out our Instagram feed at instagram.com/KUM News. We have a really cool info package on the Portuguese man-of-war. You're going to want to check that out.
With regional headlines, here's KSPN 2 News.
Hafa-Day Guam, here's what's making news on Saipan. Derek Gersandi, Press Information Officer at the Department of Fire and Emergency Medical Services, gives us an update on the most recent fires to break out on Saipan.
Over the past 2 weeks, we've had multiple fires on Wireless Ridge, as I'm sure everyone's aware of, including Evergreen. Yeah.
And what happened with the situation on Friday? Is that under control?
Everything so far is under control. Altogether, we've had around 800 acres of fire in the past 2 weeks.
And how are the firefighters holding up?
They're doing good.
This fire season, how does it compare to other fire seasons?
Well, so far, after Sodalore had happened, there's a lot of debris and whatnot that's just vegetation that had been piling up. And so right now, we're just starting to see those catch on fire.
Gersandi says the firefighters have worked very hard in recent weeks.
Our guys are great. You know, they're out there 24/7 doing what they do best, fighting those fires, and it's, you know, what we train to do.
For the last time on Saturday night, a line formed at the entrance of Sandcastle Saipan.
It's the last night. How exciting. Oh my gosh, maybe they might treat us with something special and spectacular.
A night to remember, something Sandcastle has delivered for nearly 16 years.
We've gone through a lot of different shows, a lot of different acts here in Saipan, and it's been a great
venue for us. So we're sorry to see this one go, but it's been a great run. So
a great run that reached the finish line after 2 blowout final shows.
It's kind of a bittersweet moment for us.
A bittersweet moment that turned mostly sweet for McCarroll during the final performance. And for those in the audience, the last show did not disappoint.
How did it feel when Chelsea took her long fingers and ran them through your hair on stage?
I've never felt more alive.
Magic time.
It was awesome. It was more than what I expected. It was mind-blowing. It was really good.
And that is just the reaction manager Jojo Valencia likes to see.
The show is incredible. I mean, you will never see a show like this here on Saipan, only here. And seeing the customers, leaving the showroom with their, big smile on their faces, and it's a very, very good feeling.
A good feeling that the audience gave back to performers, says Sandcastle dancer Jennifer.
The energy tonight was incredible. So loud, the clapping, and just everybody was here for us, and it was so great.
A great night and a great run, says master illusionist Leon Etienne.
It's been an awesome year here in Saipan, and we closed it out with 2 great shows tonight.
And while many say it's not great that the show is over,
it's emotional, it really is, because I've gotten to know these guys, and I'm really sad to see them go.
The good vibes will live on for the cast and crew, says stage manager Michael.
It's kind of like a bummer side, where the best magic show in Saipan is leaving, but then again, there's a lot of memories accumulated here, so that's going to stick with me forever.
What would you like to say to the people of Saipan who have come to see the show so many times over the years?
Well, I would like to thank the community of Saipan for your support.
Thank you for the support. It's been awesome, and the people of Saipan have been great. We really appreciate all the support over the years.
Saipan, thank you for all the love and support.
We couldn't have ended on a better note. This was an amazing show and an amazing audience, and thank you, Saipan, for always supporting us.
Reporting for KUAM, I'm Lanny Walker.
Well, our next story has an all too familiar headline: rapes and child abuse that plague our small island community. April, as you may know, marks Sexual Assault Awareness and Child Abuse Prevention Month, with local and military officials taking the pledge today to stop the violence that harms our island's most vulnerable.
Crystal Paco reports.
One is one too many. Here on Guam, local statistics show 64.2 rapes are reported per 100,000 people. Even more alarming, majority of the perpetrators are family.
We can't get desensitized to that number. It's alarming.
Vice Speaker Therese Terlahi read aloud a long list of statistics in hopes of sending a strong message.
I want everyone to know what you are facing, what we are trying to solve, and how immense it really is.
At the Guam Community College on Tuesday, joint proclamations were signed between Gov Guam and the island's military commands, a partnership to work together to end the cycle of violence. The proclamations were to commemorate Sexual Assault Awareness Month, Child Abuse Prevention Month, and Crime Victims' Rights Week. Chief of Police J.I. Cruz commending efforts from each of the service providers, but more importantly, the victims who bravely confront their assailants, including those like the single mother from a 2016 rape and kidnapping. Her perpetrator, Marco Amweri, now serving life behind bars.
Even after going through this horrific event, the victim found the strength and the courage to report the incident to the officers from the Hagåtña Precinct Command. In the end, justice was served for the victim, and the services were provided and are continuing to be provided as she goes down the road to recovery and healing from this terrible ordeal. The victim in this case is a true survivor and a hero for taking the stand to report this incident and for having faith in our system.
While this particular crime may have resulted in justice served to the victim, not all do. In 2017, 228 sexual assault-related cases were reported. Only 109 resulted in arrest.
It's a very, very challenging crime to bring all the way to justice. And that is really our goal. We want justice, we want safety, we want peace for these people, for our children, we want protection.
Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Crystal Paco.
He's from Texas.
Sports is coming up next, but first here's weather.
We're celebrating our 135th anniversary today, both in the outlying regions on which we hub and also here in Guam itself. It means so much to our team here in Guam. It means a lot to us in the Matson management team, because what it says is we're here to stay. It's a real physical manifestation of our commitment to this region. It's so important that we hire locally, we develop talent locally, we train locally. What's been a wonderful addition to our approach there is that many of the people who started off in Guam have gone off into significant leadership roles elsewhere in the company.
This is our headquarters here in Guam in Micronesia. And when we talk about putting down our roots, it's not just doing business, it's about everything we do with our friends, our customers, and our employees. I believe that nobody can replicate what we do, and that's why we have such a great team and such a great service and why we're successful. This is our home, this is our life, and we're happy to make a difference in everyone else's life.
Celebrate the magic of Southern Guam on the Talafofo River at the Valley of the Ledi River Festival 3 on April 7th and the 8th. Explore the Talafofo River on a riverboat, tour our pineapple plantation, ride a carabao, ply on traditional canoes, throw a talaza, feast on delicious chamorro food, enjoy cultural dancing and local entertainment all day long. Canoe carvers, artists, farmers, and traditional healers will celebrate with us from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Saturday and Sunday. Celebrating Southern Guam is presented by the mayors of Talafofo and Inarajan, GBB, Foodies, Pepsi, Takagi and Associates, Kloppenberg Enterprises, Jungle Riverboat, Heineken, Blue Moon, Miller Lite. Please enjoy responsibly, and KUAM Communications. Visit valleyoftheledi.com or call 789-3342 for information. Advanced ticket sales available at all Foodies locations. $20 for adults, $10 for students. Seniors 65 and over and children 5 and below are free of charge.
Medium Pizza Hut pizzas just $8.99 each.
Did they say Pizza Hut?
For $8.99?
Yes, and yes.
Yes! Introducing the deal you want on the pizza you crave. 2 medium pizzas, just $8.99 each. No one out pizzas the Hut.
KUAM Sports is presented by Triple J.
What's up, Guam? Dave Delgado here for KUAM Sports, brought to you by Triple J. We get you started with some footage from this year's Trench Kids event. Check it out. Trench Kids 2018, presented by Strider Balance Bikes, saw 496 participants hit the course at the Guam International Raceway Park in Jigo. This is Guam's only mini obstacle course race just for kids ages 4 to 11 years old. Divisions included 4 to 5, 6 to 7, 8 to 9, and 10 to 11-year-old individual races. There was also a 9 to 11 4-kid team and 6 to 8-year-old team event. There was over a dozen obstacles spread throughout the Smoking Wheels off-road course. New obstacles this year were the jug carry and side-scaling wall. A water truck was brought in spraying participants as they did the Army crawl. Each finisher received a finisher medal sponsored by Strider Guam, participant shirt, fruits from Triple J 5-Star, Aloha Made, and Anchor Milk. This year's Fun Run event will benefit the Make-A-Wish Foundation. The Anderson Middle School Dragons improved to 3-0 in this year's Boys All-Island Middle School Tournament hosted by Guam Elite Basketball. The Dragons picked up their first win of the tournament, 62-9 over the St. John's Association National Training Center. Slots are still available for the twice-yearly event, tailored specifically for women new to the sport or playing at the recreational level. New this season is the first ever women's referee course where participants will learn the laws of the game, among other refereeing matters. Coordinated by GFA Director of Referees George Stewart. Interested participants may register online at takecareasia.com/achieveyourgoals. The entire event is free of charge. Weekly prizes will be given out to lucky draw participants. All women are welcome to join, including those with no previous.
It teaches me that there are no shortcuts in life and that the long way home may just be the scenic route. And that even the dirt roads can lead you to beautiful destinations.
Fever followed by high fevers, headaches, body aches, weakness, fatigue, loss of appetite, and pain while chewing or swallowing. However, most symptoms appear 2 to 3 weeks after exposure to the virus. If you suspect that you or someone you know has been exposed to mumps, isolate immediately. Avoid going out and exposing others for up to 9 days after onset of swelling to the salivary glands. Additional medical recommendations include to rest when you feel weak or tired, take over-the-counter pain relievers such as ibuprofen or acetaminophen for the fever, applying an ice pack to soothe the swollen facial glands, drinking plenty of fluids to avoid dehydration from the fever, and avoiding acidic foods and beverages that may cause additional pain, oral blisters, sores, bleeding, clumps in the mouth due to the swollen salivary glands.